Avex Tracks.
My singing career came about 2 years ago, and I have an older sister named Haley, and she was in a girl group for a while, and I walked in on them rehearsing one day, and she was like singing and dancing, and it looked like so much fun, and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I want to be a singer, and she's like, okay, and I had always been in choir in school and stuff. And that's how it happened, so I started getting involved in voice classes, and I recorded a song called Why Not, and it got put on the Lizzie McGuire movie soundtrack, and I just love being in the studio since then. So I started recording my album, and we just kind of put it together, so. How it happened is I got to collaborate a lot with the songs and not really write them, but I got to have a lot of input on what they say and what the message is and how the music sounds. So I got to have a lot of, say in how it sounds or what I'm talking about. So I never really sat down and listened to something unless I got to change it or something like that. So it's cool, and I feel like I relate to all the songs on the album. And it is cool to listen to it and be like, wow, that's my song, I relate to all the songs in the album, and it took us a long time to record it and to actually get it finished because I wanted every song to be perfect and I wanted to relate to all of them, and I wanted other kids to relate to it and feel like, they're not alone. Well, one of the best things about being in the studio is that you can goof off and have a good time, and it's really fun working with different writing and producing teams because you get to meet new people and kind of see their work ethic and how they work. And let's see, what happened? At first, I was really nervous and I was kind of afraid to make mistakes. And then I realized, you're human, you just have to get over it. And that's how it happened. So I just kind of let loose and started having a good time. And that's how I fell in love with being in the studio, so.
Hi, I'm Scott Spock.
Hi, I'm Lauren Christie.
I'm Graham Edwards, and we are
The Matrix.
As a recording artist, she's very charismatic. She understands what she's singing about. She loves the camera. She's a great performer, and she's got lots of energy.
I think what really helps is the fact that she's an actress, so she really understands what she's saying with the words, and she's trying to convey the story. And then, plus the camera just loves her, I
think it's hard for an actress to cross over into the pop world. I think she's going to do it very, very well.
Yeah, I think she's going to do really.
Because she's just such a hard worker. She's one determined lady. She came in and she knew the song. Her timing was perfect. She'd really thought about the lyric, and someone who's got that work ethic, it reminds me of Madonna.
And it was really easy to work with her because, the energy was just positive through the whole day, so.
Metamorphosis can mean many different things, and that my life was changing so much within the last year, and every single day it's just something new, and on to the next, and this, that, and the other. So I just felt like it was a good idea to name the album that. And I also felt like it was a big metamorphosis or change for other people, because I think a lot of people know me as my character that I play on TV, and I wanted them to know more about me. So that's why I named it Metamorphosis. And you listen to it, you never know what's going to happen, but I listened to it and I was like, oh my gosh, I really like this. I was really proud of it. And all my friends liked the album, so that meant a lot to me. I wanted to know what they thought or their views on it, and everybody enjoyed it. So I was very lucky and very thankful. So it was hard because I've been so busy for it to actually sink in, and now that I've had a little bit of time off, I was like, oh my gosh, I was #1, so it was very exciting, but it's still so surreal. I can't believe it. I still can't believe that people want my autograph, or they want to take a picture with me, or they're buying my album, It's very exciting. I felt a little more confident because, you know, music is a new thing for me. So I was always very confident with acting, and if I messed up, I knew I could pick it up and do it over again. But I was always really shy about singing with my voice and stuff, and I never wanted to make mistakes. But now that I realize that it's okay and you're human and you have to make mistakes, then it was okay. And when the album came out and it did hit #1 on the Billboard charts, it made me feel a little more confident, like, okay, everything's gonna be okay now. You know, I felt like I could breathe because I was a little bit nervous. But other than that, my attitude hasn't changed, I don't think, so. Basically, here, so yesterday is an expression like, it's so done, it's through with, you know, don't think about it, it's so yesterday. And the song is basically talking about a relationship, and it's about a boy and a girl that have broken up, and the girl is singing, you know, it's so yesterday, it's over, it's done with, and you know, she's just a bird that's already flown away. And she talks about how she's going to be okay. And then in the middle, there's kind of a breakdown that says, if you're over me, I'm already over you. If it's all been done, what is left to do? How can you hang up if the line is dead? If you want to walk, I'm a step ahead. So it's pretty much girl empowerment music. And it talks about, it's sending a good message out there to get girls to not feel like they have to have a boyfriend to survive or something, and that it's okay to be alone. I was really happy with the video. I got to work with a really cool director. His name was Chris Applebaum, and he did a lot of Britney Spears videos. And let's see, it was really fun, and the video kind of shows how she has a whole sense of humor about the breakup and how she steals his clothes when he's surfing and puts it on all these different people. And she sends him pictures, and finally at the end, she sends him his shirt back and then she has a shirt, and it's a picture of her, and the shirt says, "You're so yesterday." And it just kind of shows that she's okay with the breakup and that she's doing fine without him. I have a lot of favorite scenes. One of them is when I'm sitting on the couch with my band and we're just kind of hanging out, and that's really fun. And then also I loved getting to do the quick shots with everybody. Like I went around to all these different people on the beach. Some of them were like muscle men, and some of them had tattoos all over them. And one was this really cool girl who looked like 80s punk rock, and she had like this pink Cadillac, and lots of different people. So that was fun. We shot in Venice Beach, California, and so it was a little overcast that day, but it got a little more sunny outside. And let's see what else. And then the other places we were in this studio where they film a lot of videos, where it's just kind of like a beaten up warehouse, so it looked really cool inside. And my friends actually came down to set that day, and they weren't excited about me shooting a video, but Busta Rhymes was next door, and they were really excited about seeing him. There's lots of people that I look up to and that I respect and that I think are really cool, but there's nobody that I want to be like. You know, I kind of want to be like myself, so. Konnichiwa, Japan. I'm Hilary. Thank you so much for the support with the album. It's called Metamorphosis, and it will be there soon. I'm actually coming to Japan soon, so I hope to see you guys. Bye. Basically, I just got finished working on a movie called Material Girls with my sister, Haley, and then we're going to be remaking the song Material Girl by Madonna together, and that's going to be really fun, and we're going to shoot a video. And then a couple days ago, I just started filming Cheaper by the Dozen 2, and today, actually, my movie A Perfect Man came out in America. And so I've been doing like promotion and stuff for that, and a couple of performances, and my single just got released today on the radio. It's called Wake Up, and I'm going to be shooting the video tomorrow and then going back to film Cheaper by the Dozen 2. And I finished my album that's kind of like, it's not a greatest hits album. It's like a collaboration of some of my favorite songs put together with 3 new songs to kind of like kick off my American tour. But the CD has new music on it, and it's going to be released in Japan first. And then we'll be touring all summer. And then I'm going to take some time off. Not recently. It's been really busy, you know, because there's been so many projects kind of like slammed together, you know, because I want to do movies and I want to sing and I want to kind of do it all, and right now it just happens to be like a really stressful, like busy time, so I'm pretty like worn out right now, but I think once I finish Cheaper by the Dozen 2, which I'll finish in like 14 days, I think that it'll be a lot less stressful because I'll be on the road and you get to kind of like sleep all day and play your show at night, and it's a little more relaxed than working all day, you know. So I think I'll have some time off, and then I'm going to take October off because my birthday's in September and I'll be turning 18 and I just want some time to myself. Maybe I'll go vacation. It's good. I actually finished it. It's not like a full college. It's just it's Harvard Online Extension School. So basically, I go on and I picked the class that I wanted to do, and I only chose one because I've been so busy. I haven't had time for, you know, even myself. So the school was kind of hard to do, but I finished it and I graduated, or I finished that semester of the class, and it was an environmental science class, and it's cool because I can go online and watch the lecture that the professor teaches to the school, and you know, there's actually people in the classroom that ask questions and he teaches, and then I do a lecture feedback, and like I did about 4 papers and some just research and tests and stuff like that for the school, and it was really great. I loved it, but it took up a lot of my free time, you know, which is very little to come by, so. No, I could. If I wanted to, I could have done like a full-blown college thing, you know, like taken many different classes and stuff, but I didn't. I wasn't interested in that, you know. I don't know if I ever want to go to like a 4-year college, you know. I finished high school like a year and a half ago. I finished early because I was homeschooled, and so doing this, it just kind of like keeps my mind learning and, you know, focus on other things besides just my work. Let's see. I haven't been reading too many books lately. I read The Da Vinci Code a couple months ago, and I really liked it. But it was a story that you have to like, you can't like read it over a long amount of time because you forget, you know, because it's very complicated. But it was a really good book. I loved it. And there's lots of new music that I've started listening to that, I don't know, it definitely doesn't influence me, like I don't ever want to sound like that, but just that I really, really like I've just gotten into like Morrissey a lot, and like AFI, and The Cure, and you know, Rancid, and like Muse, The Killers, stuff like that, and I'm very impressed by that. I think it's really like really different music, you know, and it's hard. They don't ever play stuff like that on the radio anymore. So getting to even experience it it's cool. I like it a lot. Well, the songs that are on the album are a lot, like I said, you know, songs that I've chosen. Some of them might be remixed, you know, by different DJs or something, just so they sound completely different, you know. And of course I like all of those, but my favorite are the 3 new ones that are on the album. And they were written and produced by Benji and Joel from Good Charlotte, and their producing partner named John Feldman. And they're my favorite just because they cover so much of like emotion, you know. Well, you know, they're friends, close friends of mine, so they wanted, you know, I knew that they were producers, and of course I love their music. I think it's so great, you know, and I've been such a big fan of their music for such a long time. And, you know, they wanted to produce some pop stuff, and they're really great producers, and I think they wanted to work outside of their kind of genre of music, which is like this rock type music. And, you know, they were like, we wrote these songs for you, and if you want them, you know, I wanted to work with them, and I needed songs for my album, and I listened to them. I was like, oh my gosh, these are awesome. I love them. And we went into the studio, and I worked mostly like with the lyrics with Benji, and you know, I would sit there and say like, I don't like this. Let's change this line because I don't really relate to it. And they're so easygoing to work with and so much fun, and just really like nice, funny guys. They actually they wrote the songs, right? And then when I got a hold of them, I kind of went back and like changed things and said, I don't really want the song to be about this. I want it to be about this, but I want the same melody, So I don't know all the technical terms like they do, so I got to go in and just kind of make it my own once they already had like the structure of it. I think I just wanted to show people that I don't want to just be rock or pop rock. Like there's so much, like an artist doesn't have to be all the same sound. It doesn't all have to sound the same. And I wanted just to show people that, and I think that, people will realize that in music and stuff, it's been so like hip hop and rap driven, and in the future, I think it's gonna start turning into very pop and very almost like 80s, like Gwen Stefani's. I think her music is very pop right now, and actually it's like pop alternative kind of sounding, and I think that sound is gonna come back really fast. And but that's not all, The other song that I did with them is called "Beat of My Heart," and it's like a really like drum-driven techno kind of song, and the other one's kind of like pop rock punkish. So it's a big variety. Well, I hope they do. We put that in the song just because I live in LA, and we were just talking about all the really busy, energetic, cool, hip, fashion type places are in the world, and kind of the ones that everybody knows of and everybody is interested in and wants to go and has like a certain image of them. And we thought it was a really cool idea for the video to like have flashes of all these places. And I love Tokyo, and I love New York, and I love London and Paris, and of course I live in LA, so Hollywood and Vine is right where all of the clubs are that we like to go out to, and Tokyo is kind of where it all happens, and everybody has this really trendy, preconceived image of what it's like, so I think we just thought that it'd be cool, all the main cities to put in there. Ooh, a lot of stuff. It depends on my mood. Like sometimes I want to listen to Britney Spears, sometimes I want to listen to like Game or like Mike Jones, or sometimes I feel like I want to listen to the Foo Fighters or Nine Inch Nails, or it all depends, it really depends on my mood. So I also like Gavin DeGraw. I'm a big fan of Gavin DeGraw. Supergirl is a track that was produced by Cara Diaguati, and she did a lot of other tracks with me actually. She wrote, she helped write Come Clean on my first album, and also like she wrote Little Voice, and a lot of songs that people are very familiar with. And she wrote Supergirl, and I don't know, I liked it. I wanted a different option of sounding it, and this is kind of like a really heavy girl empowered song, and it's really rock, and it's kind of just like an angry chick, like she's just kind of telling it how it is, and she's really out there and secure and comfortable with herself, and just like woman empowering. Beat of My Heart is the one that I said sounded a little like pop techno kind of sounding, and it sounds a little bit like DJ Sammy, and I love DJ Sammy, so I thought it was kind of cool that we did this track because it's something that's so different for me, and it's really talking about this girl that kind of came out of this like deep dark place because she was, or this is how I take it, is that she was in this kind of like relationship, and then it was over really fast, and she was kind of depressed and like really sad about it, and really like emotional, and then it comes out in the song that like she's gonna go out and she's gonna like not let people like walk all over her anymore, and she's gonna show this guy that she's strong and she's powerful, and that she doesn't really need him, and it's really just like listening to how you feel on the inside and really acting on those emotions, So I think once you listen, it's kind of a hard song to explain, but when you hear it, you'll kind of understand and take it for, what it means to you. But I kind of put it with like a relationship and how it ended sadly, and it was the girl that got hurt, and then she comes out and she's like, I'm done, I'm over being in this place, and my life's kind of different now. We haven't. We've already put the stage together, you know, and we have the set list down and everything. And now I just have to rehearse a little bit. So I learned my songs again, you know. And the stage show, I think it's just going to be totally different than anything anybody would expect. You know, the way that I look, my wardrobe, from the songs that we sing, and just the whole stage show in general. You know, the light show is going to be very different and much more complex, and there's going to be some pyro, and I think just cool different elements, you know, to the stage and stuff like that that we didn't exactly have before. I want to be doing the same thing, but one thing that I really am interested in is having like a fashion line, like a very high fashion line. I have a younger fashion line right now that we're working on, and it's it's for younger girls, and it's very affordable for them, and we're kind of remodeling the line a little bit to make it look a little different in exactly how I want it to look. But I think like 5 or 10 years from now, I would love to have like a really expensive high fashion line that I get to have total control of, total fun with, and I think that's what a goal would be. I think I'd like to spend a whole entire day in Harajuku and a whole entire day in Shibuya, and then do all the kind of tourist things that I've never really gotten to do before. The first time I went to Japan, I got to actually I was working at the time, so I got to make like my own crepe and kind of go back there and create whatever I wanted and like put whatever I wanted in it, and they put it on the menu for like a week or something, and I got to name it and everything. But when I was there, around the same area, there was like, we walked a little off, and there was a big market going on, and then a temple. It was a temple, and I got to see the end of like a very traditional Japanese wedding, and I thought that was so cool to see that. You know, it's so different from our traditions here in America, and kind of the I don't know if it's superstition or good luck or whatever it is, but like I drew this stick out of all these bottles, and it has a number on it, and then he read me what it meant, and kind of just things for the future in my life. And I think stuff like that is really fun and cool and interesting, and I like to go. I don't know too much about it, but I know that I'd like to go and learn more about like the culture and the traditions, and just see different places that I haven't gotten the opportunity to do, well, since I've been there, and eat. I think I'm pretty picky when it comes to guys. I'm really independent. Like, I don't mind being alone. If I didn't have a boyfriend, I think I would still be happy and still be fine. I really like that about myself. But I guess I just like someone that is really funny and doesn't take things too seriously and understands me and knows everything about me and accepts that, and vice versa. And someone that's motivated and close with their family, and has dark hair. Konnichiwa, it's me, Hilary, and I think I'm going to be coming back to Japan in November, and if not soon after that, and I can't wait to get back. And I talk about Japan all the time and told my friends everything about it, and I'm trying to learn a little bit of Japanese so I can speak to some of you next time I come over there. And I hope you enjoy my album and whatever upcoming projects that you guys are seeing over there. I hope you really enjoy them, and I can't wait to get back and do some more shows for you guys. And I will see you soon. Arigato. Tokyo Ichiban.
Avex Tracks.
Having this new record be so personal and really writing it and living it and having all of these experiences and then now being able to listen to it all put together and all finished. I mean, people that want to hear it are going to hear it now and I think learn so much about me and where I'm at in my life right now. It's just a really honest record and I feel just excited. I can't wait to get out there. I haven't traveled and toured in a while and I'm just ready to get back into it again and show everybody this kind of like new side of me that I feel really comfortable with. I hope people love this record and relate to it and understand. And something that I have to look forward to is just really being myself and having people, you know, learn new things about me because I feel like there's a little bit of a preconceived image that I'm just this really nice, normal girl, and I am, but there's stuff behind all that as well, you know, and I want to share that with people because I think they'll relate to it and understand.
Sometimes I can be all wrapped up and into me. I can be in such a rush. Just slow me down. Tell me tomorrow everything will be around. Just slow me down. You're the one who keeps me on the ground. Baby, you can be tough. Say it never say enough. You can even be blunt. Just do it with love. Tell me I'm wrong, that I'm coming on way too strong. Don't think I'll be crushed. Just do it with love. Just do it with love. Just do it with love. I can take your honesty, all your words were heavenly. Listening to you all the time. Wanna be there for you, the way you've been there for me. Always help me walk the line. And slow me down. I know you will always be around. Baby, you can be tough. Say it never say enough. You can even be blunt. Just do it with love. Tell me I'm wrong, that I'm coming on way too strong. Don't think I'll be crushed. Just do it with love. 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 Just do it with love.
Well, I was born in Houston, and when I was about 4, we moved to San Antonio. My sister started getting involved in like ballet and school plays and singing in the choir at school, and I'm like 2.5 years younger than her, so everything that she wanted to do, I wanted to do as well. And it basically was just kind of like that, you know, she wanted to get involved in acting, and there was an acting workshop not too far away from our house, and I was the tomboy, you know, like I just always wanted to be outside and always active and doing sports and stuff like that. And Haley was a little bit different, you know, she was more like creative and really girly, and she was having like so much fun during these acting classes, and she would come home and teach me what she'd learned, and I was like, I want to do it too, and because I wanted to be just like her. It really happened like that. We would see little things like posted on the bulletin board at the workshop, you know, like random casting call, come here, come there, modeling job, like show up, audition, you know, and after about a couple months of us going to this class, my mom started noticing how much more talkative I would be and not as shy, and I would, you know, go up to anybody and start a conversation, and just really like opened both of us up a lot. And she was like so impressed by it. And we would start bugging her like, Mom, will you take us to this thing? It's this weekend, you know? And she's like, okay. And we just we're very persistent with making it known that we wanted to do this. That's when we started coming out to LA. It's quite funny because when we first got out here, it was kind of like this whole scam thing, you know, like we met this woman and pay her, you know, $2,000 and everything's gonna be set up for you out here. And we have no idea how any of this stuff works, you know, and of course we get out here and nothing is set up for us. We don't have an agent, we don't have a manager, we don't have auditions, we just have a place to stay. So she did this to like a couple families, and most of them just packed up and went home and was like bummed out, and we're like, well, we have this place and we have our homeschooling set up for 2 months. So we stayed and we were going on auditions, and my mom like found this bookstore, how to get all this information on the business and meet people and get an agent. And Haley actually booked a commercial and I booked a commercial, and we were like, oh, this is easy, like we're good at this, we got it down, you know. I think I booked a couple more commercials, but then nothing else, nothing for a long time, you know. And we were like, oh, I guess it's not as easy as we thought, you know. And we went back to Texas, and then we would come back, and it was like nothing for a couple years. And then finally we started to both kind of book guest spots on TV shows. And I booked this movie that was a made-for-TV movie called Casper Meets Wendy. It was such a great experience because it was just a really quick lesson in how it's all done, you know. And after that, things just started getting more and more permanent living in Los Angeles because we were working more and had to be here more, and it just kind of never stopped since then. When I booked Lizzie McGuire, a couple months before that, I had booked a TV show that I did the pilot for, and it was called Daddy-O. After the pilot, I got replaced by like 2 kids instead of 1. I don't know if they were twins or what the story was, but I was just like, oh my God, I got fired. They hate me. I was so kind of like embarrassed, I guess, that I felt like I did a bad job. So I was like, I want to go home. I want to go see my friends, and I want to like start going to school again. And my sister wanted to stay out here, so my mom stayed out here with her, and I went back with my dad in Texas and started going to school, and just for a couple months, you know, and we were gonna figure out something else. And my mom calls me one day and she's like, Hilary, there's this audition that Disney Channel's called for. And they knew me because I'd auditioned for many things for them before. And my mom was like, Hilary, they really, really wanna see you. And I was like, no, I'm done. I'm already in Texas, I don't wanna do it. She's like, okay, you know, and she calls back later on that day. She's like, Susan called them and told them that you weren't in town anymore and you weren't acting anymore. And they were like, what? But she's perfect for this. We really, really want to see her. And they're like, we'll send a ticket. And I was like, send a ticket? Awesome. I get a free trip to LA to go see all my friends just for like a couple days. And I thought it was great. So I went, and I didn't really go over my lines at all. And I just showed up and read, and then the casting director was like, you are terribly unprepared, aren't you? And I was like, you know, and then it kind of like put that back in me, like that challenge that I always had, you know, that drive to want to go in and like nail an audition and do a really good job and convince someone that I could be someone else. And when she said that to me, I was like, it's on, you know? And I like went over my lines and did everything I could to be really good. And I came back the next day, and she's like, okay, get a call back, you know, you're gonna come and see producers. And it was a process of like 5 or 6 auditions, and then I got it, and I just stayed in LA and started filming the pilot. And I tried to not let myself get too excited because of what had happened in the past about the TV show I'd worked on. And then when we started filming, it was just like nonstop. When I decided to be a singer, it was right when Lizzie McGuire was finished. So I had filmed the TV show for 2 years, and we worked really hard. We didn't work like a normal TV show. We did like something crazy, like 35 episodes in one season. There was a ton of young artists at the time, like singers and stuff, that I would be around when I would do signings, you know, with the cast for Lizzie McGuire. And people that I listened to and knew and heard on the radio, you know, and would be around sometimes if we were at like a work thing together. And I was watching some of them perform one day, and I was like, if they can do that, I can do that, you know. And I don't know if I can sing, but I could try. And I remember I took a couple voice classes when I was younger, just because I was taking acting classes and stuff. And I told my mom, and she was like, oh great, here we go again, you know. She had no idea about anything about the music business, and neither did I, and we didn't know anybody. And I met my manager just randomly one day, and I told him, I was like, I want to be a singer. And he was like, can you sing? I was like, I can try. And I just sang for him, you know. He's a German guy, he's really funny. He's like, I want to work with you. And Then we started shopping around to different record labels, and I got signed, and I started making a record. So it was really exciting and just a whole new experience that I never knew that I could do or really wanted to do. But once I kind of got in the studio and then a year later started performing in front of people, I was like hooked. My first album we called Metamorphosis. It's so funny when I look back at my records at the time, I thought it was the coolest thing to have a record. And we named it Metamorphosis because it was like a big change for me. And it was interesting being an actress and having everyone know who you are from your TV show and then putting out a record. From my experiences, I feel like it's almost more accepted to be a singer and then turn into an actress. It seems like it's easier or something because I had the hardest time really trying to get people to like pay attention that I wanted to be a singer. And I think it was really just like my fans from my TV show because it was such a huge success, you know, that they all went out and bought my record and then people couldn't really deny that my record was successful and that people liked my music, you know? And then they started like playing me a little bit on the radio here and there, and it was #1 on the Billboard charts the second week it was out. When it was told to me, I was like, that's cool, but what does it mean? I didn't know anything about the Billboard 200 chart and about how sales work and about everything, you know? And I learned it pretty quick after Metamorphosis came out. We had 3 singles, and the first one was Why Not, which was on the soundtrack for the Lizzie McGuire movie. And then I released, my first single that I released on my own was So Yesterday, and then Come Clean. It all happened really fast, but I remember just picking the single, and we did it with the label, and then I was shooting a video and leaving for tour and going to all these radio stations and giving them my single to play on the radio, and it was just really exciting. And then the same thing happened with Come Clean, and we shot this cool video, and I got to hear my songs on the radio and sing it for all these people that like knew it, and it was cool. And I was really lucky because I wasn't writing any back then because I didn't really even know to. You know, I was just like, I want to sing. And my manager and my label, you know, they made it to where I got to work with really great people who wrote great songs and helped me a lot in the studio. And of course, you know, I listened to the songs and said, no, I don't like that one. Yes, I like this one. Maybe we could, you know, I got to be a part of it, just not as much as I am now, which I like. It was all like a pretty slow learning process. Kara Diaguati and John Shanks wrote Come Clean and did the music to it. And I worked with Kara a little bit for some other songs on my record and with John. And I remember hearing the song and being like, what is this exactly about? And I would just listen to it and it would be like stuck in my head, and I started to like get the words and relate to it, and it just all of a sudden made sense. And it's always tough, which I didn't realize back then, but how can you sing a song that someone else wrote? Sometimes it doesn't always work because you're like, this doesn't relate to me. I didn't experience these things. But everything that I put on my record, I really did experience and relate to. So sometimes it just works like that someone writes a song that you're like, I totally connect with this.
Let the rain fall down and wake my dreams. Let it wash away my sanity. 'Cause I wanna feel the thunder, I wanna scream. Let the rain fall down, I'm coming clean. I'm coming clean.
My second record was self-titled. We called it Hilary, Duff, and it was made really quickly, but I loved it. It was like, you know, my second record, I got to be a little bit more a part of the process. I got to write a little bit. I wrote a song with my sister, and learning a little bit more about how recording things work and what this sounds like and what that sounds like. And my manager's really good with that stuff, so it was cool being around him and getting to learn from him about that, and then other people I was working with. I was also filming a movie at the time, and then this was like my big tour, my big US tour, which we were like playing arenas and they were all sold out, and it was so exciting, but my record wasn't even finished yet. So I had a single and we had to shoot the video on my very first tour date, which was in Massachusetts. And we decided to do it like that because we had no time. And we used Chris Applebaum. And the single is called Fly.
To try, 'cause it's your time to fly.
we decided to do like this whole kind of like live action thing where right before the show, I had to fly to New York, do some work, do some like talk show, TV show type things. We took a private plane back to Massachusetts that day after we had been rehearsing, did the show, and he filmed a bunch of footage of like all of the fans, the crew running in and out during the day. He filmed me getting ready, all of us backstage, all my band, how everything works. And it was actually like one of my favorite videos because it was just a really honest video because it was like exactly what I was doing at the time. Nothing fake. It was all real, and it was just a crazy like whirlwind. And that was Fly. And then we kicked off the tour, and we were gone all summer. It was a sold-out tour, which was so exciting. And the album came out, and we were doing like interviews all day long and doing shows at night. Then right after my tour was over in September, I flew to Europe and kind of introduced my music over there for the first time, which I had never done. And my TV show had really just gotten there because everything's a little bit later. So a lot of people knew me first from my music, which I really liked because I was kind of done with my TV show at the time and wanted people to see me as a singer. And then went to Japan and did the same thing and came back and toured Canada over the winter time.
In a moment, everything can change. Feel the wind on your shoulder. For a minute, all the world can wait. Let go of yesterday.
It's such a team effort being out on the road and making a record and I guess everything with my job because I do so many things that for a while there I was just showing up and they were telling me what I was doing, and then I was like, this isn't cool anymore. Like, I want to know, I want to be a part of it, I want to help make decisions. And everyone was cool with it and everybody understands, you know, because it's kind of like you want a little bit of independence and freedom and more control of what I'm doing. And I feel like on that tour is really when it started to kick in and I started to grow and be more curious about, you know, my business and what goes on to make a tour work and stuff. And kind of at first I feel like everyone thought, I want to do this all by myself, which was never the case, never could handle that, never want to, you know, but I just want to be a part of it. And now it's like they got it and we work so well together and we're like a big team. So the next single that I released was Our Lips Are Sealed, which was with my sister Haley. It's a really cute video, and Haley's obviously my sister, but she's also my best friend, so us get to work together was really fun. And I had been on tour for a while, so hadn't seen her a lot. So she flew up to Canada, and I was getting ready to kick off my winter tour up there, and we shot the video. We just got to like goof around and have fun and be sisters, and we played a couple pranks like during the video shoot and then in the video. Like we did this funny thing, because Haley and I are crazy when we get together. But we were like in this old car and these guys pull up next to us and we're at this, I think it was like an old drive-in type thing. And we like throw these pickles in it, like, because these guys are like staring at us, and it like lands on his eyes on the window. It was fun just doing that whole process of like getting ready to shoot a video. Haley and I got to do this huge wardrobe fitting together and we figure out what like looks good, because we're gonna be standing next to each other and what part she sings, what part I sing. In the actual Go-Go's video, they end up in a fountain, like with bubbles and like playing around. And so we ended up in a fountain. But I bet when the Go-Go's did it, it wasn't like minus something degrees outside in Canada. It was freezing. But they made the water warm in the fountain and put all these bubbles everywhere. And Haley and I had to just like go for it and like jump in. And we actually ended up staying in there for a long time and having a lot of fun. So it wasn't so bad. And it's not every day you get to like jump in a fountain in a public place, you know, so it was fun. My next record was called Most Wanted, and the single that we chose off of that record was called Wake Up. It was a really, really fun concept for a video. The song is about everybody wanting the same thing. No matter where you are in the world, like some people just need to like go out and forget about all the pressure and all the stress that they have and just go out and have a good time and forget all the negativity and just have fun.
What they say, 'cause I need to go, need to get away tonight. I put my makeup on a Saturday night. I try to make it happen, try to make it alright. I know I make mistakes, I'm living life day to day. It's never really easy, but it's okay. Wake up on a Saturday night. Could be New York, maybe Hollywood and Vine. London, Paris, maybe Tokyo. There's something going on anywhere I go tonight. Yeah, tonight.
So it's really a catchy song, but it talks about being in all my favorite places in the world, which is Tokyo and Paris and London and New York. And we got to do all different looks. And we did this really funky, like New York underground type club. And I had like really dark eyes, and that was like my New York look. And then I had this really short black bob and this total Japanese ensemble in a place that looked kind of like a Japanese club. Then we did a very Parisian look with a tiny little dress and fishnets and red lips and like a beret. We had an English look that was more of like a fun scarf and just like kind of messy hair and cool, like in the back of a English cab with friends. And it was really fun because I just got to experiment with all these different looks in the video, and it was very high energy, and I loved that. Every look that I had in the video and everything that I did wasn't so far away from my real life, and how, you know, when my personality gets a certain way, I like to change. I like to look different, dress different. It's all very creative, and it got to show so many different sides of me, and it's all things that I have fun doing, is being creative and looking different and playing with your personality, you know?
Wake up on a Saturday night. Could be New York, maybe Hollywood and Vine. London, Paris, maybe Tokyo. There's something going on anywhere I go. Wake up on a Saturday night. Could be New York, maybe Hollywood and Vine. London, Paris, maybe Tokyo.
When I did the new songs for my Most Wanted record, I didn't even really know what I wanted at the time. I just knew that when I heard these songs, they were really catchy, and I liked them, and I thought it was kind of like a cool direction to go from this kind of like pop rock sound that I was doing before, and then moving into this kind of still pop music, but adding like this semi-dance edge, but still with all like real instruments.
To the beat of my, to the beat of my, to the beat of my heart. I'm thinking about letting it out. I wanna give it.
Beat of My Heart was a totally different song from anything I had done before, because it was just very dance, pop, techno-ish, you know, and nothing I had ever really been into before, but I knew when I heard it, I was like, whoa, I really like this, and I think this could be a single.
Not worried about anything else. I'm waking up to the beat of my, to the beat of my, to the beat of my heart. The beat of my heart, the beat of my heart, the beat of my heart. It tears us apart.
So we shot a really cool video, and I wanted to do something kind of mod and not robotic, but like just different, you know, not super personal, because I feel like everything that I had done before was really just me and my personality, and I kind of wanted to like do a character. So the vision of having everything be see-through, you know, like the instruments and the amps and my microphone, and the way I held it and the way I walked would be different. And I sat in this bubble, which was like this chair thing for some of the video, and it was all these really cool special effects. It was just really interesting. It was definitely one of the most difficult videos to shoot, because everything had to be really precise and perfect, and I've never really worked like that before. I never was like a choreographed artist where I was taught how to dance and do this. I would just do what I felt. And so for this, it was like the first time it was really like, okay, move like this, do like this, and we got it done, and it was fun. It turned out really cool and had this really weird colors and very fluid video, and it totally matched the song. When I heard that altogether, you know, worldwide, I had sold like a total of 13 million records, it was so strange. I still don't believe it. It just seems kind of impossible for me, you know. I don't feel like someone who could do that, you know, and I found it in a really strange way too. It wasn't like I had been keeping count or I even knew, you know, because I was so busy, you don't even have time to think or like really enjoy this and be like, oh my gosh, 3 years ago, if I could have known that I was going to do this, I would have died. And I feel so lucky, and it's really, it makes me feel like I do this for a reason. When I decided to name my record Dignity, it felt like a really strong title. Dignity is something that my mom has always really tried to instill in my sister and I, and it's not something that you can be given or that you can just get or that you're born with. It's something that you have to work on. It's not always the easiest road to take, and it's something that I hope to always strive to have. Before I released my album Dignity, we released a single called Play With Fire, and it was really just kind of a tease, like a hint to get people into my new sound and what it's gonna be like. And a lot of the songs on the record are different from Play With Fire, but it just matches the whole kind of like dance, electro mixed with a little bit of rock sounding vibe. When I started to work on this record, I was at a place in my life that I really wanted to work on a movie, because I had been touring for such a long time, and it can be really draining. It's so exciting. It's like probably one of my favorite things to do, but you need a break from it, you know, to like kind of find your passion again. And I was just wanting to write because I knew that I wanted it to be all about me doing it.
And you can just love me, feed the flame. If you want me back again, burn to the sky, higher and higher. Baby, can you play with fire? Love me, burn to the sky. If you want me.
Just to look back on my life and like some of the years and the experiences that I've had, and be able to sit down and just write them out and not feel shy or embarrassed if it sounds bad or good, because you don't have to use it if you don't want to. But to like open that part of myself up was really exciting, because I ended up finding out that I can do it, you know, and it's easy and exhilarating, you know. It's so freeing to be able to look inside yourself and see things that affect you so much that you've held on to them for long enough to write about them. We had some songs done, and then I got this call from my agent that said, okay, I'm sending a script over. I don't know if you're gonna like it because you have to play a pop star, but read it. And I was like, pop star? I don't want to play a pop star, you know? He's like, I want you to talk to these people. And so I read the script. I talked to John Cusack, who wrote it and starred in the movie, and he's like, do you want to do this? Because we'd really love to have you come down here to Bulgaria and do this movie. And I was like, I really, really want to do it, you know? And the movie's called War, Inc. and I was up there for about 2 months. So then I came back home, had some time off for Christmas, and then got back full into like making the record. I wasn't doing anything else but writing and being in the studio and listening to tracks and, you know, working with people on the record and figuring out exactly what these songs are going to be about. I'm so happy that I took that break to make the movie because lots of like personal things and experiences happened in my life that if I hadn't have experienced, wouldn't have made my record the same. A lot of the record is really, really serious, but a lot of it's done very tongue-in-cheek too, like some of the songs. It's just like so my personality and so me and so everything I think. With Love is the first single off of my new record, Dignity. It's totally dancey and fun and upbeat and just catchy. And I have a fragrance that's called With Love. And when we came up for the promotion of what we wanted to do for the fragrance, we decided to shoot like a little commercial that looks like a video. You know, so people are like watching TV and commercials are on, but then like this mini clip of like a video that like takes you into the story really quickly happens. And I wrote the song for the commercial and the fragrance and then put it on my record because I liked it so much. And it really just talks about being in a relationship and listening to the person that you're with and that you love. And even though it seems like you're not listening sometimes, you really are because you know what he's saying comes from a place of love. Thinking about kind of like where I am now in my life and the way that I look and how comfortable I feel with everything and how kind of just normal it's all become seems like such a long way away from where I started. You know, I remember shooting my very first video and being really nervous and not knowing what I was doing and feeling like, is this me? Am I, you know, I want to be myself, but I also need to be a little bit bigger and are people going to like this? And then just kind of having so many experiences since then shooting videos, you just grow, you know, and it's like a natural progression that you get more comfortable. It's funny because I look back and I see things that I used to do, if it was like a facial expression I used to make or something, some dance movement that I would make. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I do that. But it's like really funny because you learn, and I'm sure hopefully 10 years from now I'll be able to look back at this time right now and say, oh my God, I can't believe I wore that. I thought that was so cool. It's just all my experiences and the way that my life has gone, and I'm really happy and I feel really lucky, and to be able to have it all documented like it is exciting, you know. I feel like a very, very lucky girl, and I feel like I'm in a good place where I work hard and I have a life outside of my work that I have all kinds of different experiences in, and, you know, I have a great family, and all of those things really help me be who I am throughout my life and my career.
When life could be so sweet, but why you wanna be like that? As if there's nothing new. You're not fooling no one, you're not even fooling you. So walk a little slower and open up your eyes. Sometimes it's so hard to see the good things passing by. There may never be a sign, no flashing neon light telling you to make your move or when the time is right. So why not take a crazy chance? Why not do a crazy dance? If you lose the moment, you might lose a lot. So why
and fly. It might take a little, and it might take a lot, but why not? Why not? Why not? Take a crazy chance. Why not? Do a crazy dance. If you lose the moment, you might lose a lot. So why not? Why not? You could change your life if you wanna. You could change your clothes if you wanna. If you change your mind, well, that's the way it goes. But I'm gonna keep your jeans and your old black hat, 'cause I wanna. They look good on me. You're never gonna get them back. At least not today, not today, not today. 'Cause if it's over, let it go and come tomorrow, it will seem so yesterday, I'm just a bird that's already flown away. Laugh it off and let it go and when you wake up, it will seem so yesterday, haven't you heard that I'm gonna be okay? Okay. You could say you're bored if you wanna. You could act real tough if you wanna. You could say you're torn, but I've heard enough. Thank you, you made my mind up for me. When you started to ignore me, do you see a single tear? It isn't gonna happen here. At least not today, not today, not today. 'Cause if it's over, let it go and come tomorrow, it will seem so yesterday, I'm just a bird that's already flown away. Laugh it off and let it go and when you wake up, it will seem so yesterday, haven't you heard that I'm gonna be okay? If you're over me, I'm already over you. If it's all been done, what is left to do? How can you hang up if the line is dead? If you wanna walk, I'm a step ahead. If you're moving on, I'm already gone. If the light is off, then it isn't on. At least not today, not today, not today. 'Cause if it's over, let it go and come tomorrow, it will seem so yesterday, I'm just a bird that's already flown away. Laugh it off and let it go and when you wake up, it will seem so yesterday, haven't you heard? It's over, let it go and come tomorrow, it will seem so yesterday, I'm just a bird that's already flown away. Laugh it off and let it go and when you wake up, it will seem so yesterday, haven't you heard that I'm gonna be okay? Let's go back to the beginning, back to when the earth, the sun, the stars all aligned. 'Cause perfect didn't feel so perfect. Trying to fit a square into a circle was no life. I defy
Let the rain fall, I'm coming. Let the rain fall down and wake my dreams. Let it wash away my sanity. 'Cause I wanna feel the thunder, I wanna scream. Let the rain fall down, I'm coming clean. I'm coming clean. I'm coming clean. Let the rain fall, let the rain fall, let the rain fall. I'm coming clean. Let's go back to the beginning. Can you hear them? There's people talking, they talk about me. They know my name, they think they know everything, but they don't know anything about me. Give me a dance floor, give me a DJ, play me a record, forget what they say, 'cause I need to go, need to get away tonight. Love me, feed the flame. If you want me back again, burn to the sky, higher and higher. Baby, can you play with fire? Love me, burn to the sky. If you want me, you never know just what you got till it's gone. You freak out, but I'm not falling for that game. Boys like you never
The concept for this album is very simple. Basically, I'm trying to capture the young look of Hilary Duff and the sexy woman side of Hilary Duff. We photographed this when she's 19 right now. She's going to be 20 in September 2007. So I'm trying to capture a documentary and at the same time a fashion way of capturing her in a different look, in a different way. This is what I always try to look for when I work with anybody, regardless it's an artist or it's not an artist or a model. I'm trying to capture the deep spirits in the person, and at the same time I hope to also capture the purity in the mind. So if anybody will understand my pictures and feels that is the greatest thing, I hope that would be a great thing for me. I really hope people can get impressed and get inspired from a good portrait. So basically the entire concept is dignity, but the approach is a portrait of a beautiful woman.